In this video, I thought I would continue our little dressage journey, and I will talk you through some tips and things to think about when you ride a dressage test using my second dressage test that I did for Dressage Riders Online. Please go check out their website. I'm gonna lead you over to voice over Mia, and hopefully you will find this interesting and somewhat educational. So the first impression a judge gets of you is your center line, and a common mistake many people make is that they turn onto the center line way too late. Now, if you want to get a better turn onto the center line, you can imagine it as a half a 10-meter circle, or if you have a stiffer horse like Pricken, you can turn into the corner and then make the turn earlier. When I ride a center line, I think of it as a here I am extended trot kind of thing, and just to give it a nice power down towards the judge, and it gives a good impression. The next thing we're going to talk about is riding into your corners. It's important to be correct and use your corners so that you have the space before you do other things, such as this diagonal. Getting good marks is all about riding to the letter and making use of your lines and doing it correctly. Because if you write a correct test, you will get a good mark, even if it's not super flashy. Riding a 20-meter circle, it is important to remember that it is a circle, so you're not supposed to go out into the corners, and you are supposed to hit the center line at X if it is, as you can see now, a 20-meter circle up by the letter A or down by the letter C. It is also important to prepare your transitions. Like here, I'm supposed to have 3 to 4 paces, and my mistake here shows how important it is to know your horse and how well it responds to the aids, because Pricken responded later than I thought, and so we got way too many steps. Again, here you can see us riding a 20-meter circle and touching the track and touching X. Well, it's too small, but supposed to be touching X, but not going into the corners because it's supposed to be a circle. Now, doing halts is one of the most difficult things, I think, and it's important to remember that you have to ride into the halt so that your horse steps underneath itself and is as square as possible, and we aren't there yet. Another thing to remember is that walk is a very underestimated gait, and a lot of dressage programs have a coefficient of 2 on walk, which means you will get a double score for how well you do. And in this test, the judge was pretty harsh because she commented that Pricken didn't have a proper 4-beat gait, and so we got very harsh marks on the walk. Again, here we're supposed to go into trot at C, and the transition was too late. So this again is a reminder that you need to know your horse very well. And if your horse is a little slow, start thinking the transitions earlier than what I did. Again, we're coming into the center line. As you can see, here was a good example of the half circle, and again, a very poor halt. Now, I think it's important to note here that I didn't get very good marks for this test. Overall, I was more happy with this test when I was writing it. I felt it went better, but I knew I'd made mistakes such as the transitions. However, I had two different judges judge the two tests, and the first one was very lenient and we won the class and got a 70%, but the second one was much harder. She scored lower on everything, and it's important to remember that dressage is a very subjective sport and it is very easy to get down and like sad when you get your score sheet back if you haven't got like great marks, and maybe there's some criticism there that you felt were not right or something like that. And it's important to remember that it's the subjective opinion of one person. And although dressage judges have an educational system so that they learn how to judge tests, it still is the eye of the beholder. They bring with them different experiences, and sometimes it does get sort of influenced by their own experiences, their own likes and dislikes. So when I write dressage and I get a bad mark, I don't really care so much about the mark. I try to look at the comments, see if there's anything there that I can learn something from, but not really bothering that much, putting it behind me and focusing on the good things in that program and how it felt to me. And if I was happy, that's the most important thing. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I found it interesting, and please comment any questions, like, subscribe to my channel, pretty please, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!